Today guys, we definitely got an interesting one. We're going to be taking a look at the FR Advancer here in Modern Warfare Zombies in Season 4, and this is the first time that I've looked at this AR since the incendiary ammo got a nerf. Since I felt like that was one of the main components that made this AR just so incredibly OP, I was a little bit hesitant on trying this thing out again, but oh my god guys, I am definitely glad that I did. We're going to do a bunch of testing inside of the red tier zone with this thing. We're going to kill a bunch of mega abominations, which this thing does incredibly well with. We're also going to give the unstable rift a rest today, and we're going to be going inside the Season 2 Reloaded Dark Aether. With that, welcome on back to the channel everybody. If y'all don't know, my name is Ghost. I appreciate everybody that stops by the video today. If you're into zombies content or anything Call of Duty, rock the hell out of that like button for me and subscribe to the channel. And we're getting so much closer to that 20,000 subscriber goal, and I cannot thank you guys enough for all the crazy support lately. And I can't wait to get into everything about this run and this loadout after a brief word from today's sponsor. If you guys are looking to unlock the new MW3 camos such as Interstellar or Borealis, or possibly even play in some bot lobbies or get all the best schematics in Modern Warfare Zombies, then be sure to check out Midge Cactus. They're the biggest and most reliable sellers with heaps of brand new offerings for MW3 with completely safe and legitimate services for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. With thousands of great reviews on Trustpilot, you guys should definitely check them out. Be sure to use code REALG at checkout for 5% off your entire order for a limited time only. Now I came in here with a flawless crystal and a legendary Aether tool, so we were just already ready to go straight into tier 3. I also brought in a bloodburner key just to make sure I was one of the first ones out there. Sometimes that doesn't always work though. Sometimes people on a Scorcher beat me. But after getting my Easter egg done so I can get myself a flawless crystal and a legendary Aether tool, the first thing I did was I got an HVT on this mega abomination down here, and we deleted this guy pretty damn fast. So that really kind of started piquing my curiosity. I was like, this thing is still feeling really good. After trying it on this non-HVT mega abomination, yeah, this thing is definitely still OP. It really doesn't just stop with the bosses either. This thing handles all the zombies in the red tier zone really well, even like the armored ones. Disciples, the manglers, nothing really stands a chance with this AR. It just feels really good. Definitely one of the best I think I've tried out this season, and I think this AR is definitely going to be deserving of a spot on that list that's going to be coming out here soon, which I'm thinking I'm going to have that video out either tomorrow or the next day, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. Another thing that I love about this AR is that it actually multitasks really well, and what I mean by that is I'm sitting here, I'm having to deal with this HVT mega abomination, and these zombies do not want to stop coming at me. Most of the time, 9 times out of 10, I'd be getting really frustrated, just kind of getting overrun with, you know, all these zombies and everything. This AR just handles everything really nicely, and I'm quite surprised. I mean, especially even after this nerf, I'm still rocking the incendiary ammo on this thing right now, and it's doing really good. This weapon overall does have a lot of really good pros to it, and not very many cons, to be perfectly honest. The ammo reserve, you're going to be sitting on 1,020 rounds, so with maga holding, I mean, with 1,020 rounds, you could just practically almost shoot forever. Now, the snappiness and the handling of this AR is really not too bad for an assault rifle. Don't mind running around with it sometimes, but that is one small con that it does have, is that it is an AR, and I do like running around with either my fists out or whatever else is in my second hands. But in this match, I did have the Wonder Waff, which made it a little bit tough. Now, that is just a little bit of a personal preference of mine. I just kind of felt like I was a little bit more sluggish and slow, but I was powerful enough to take care of anything that was in my path. And I actually really liked this dual combo setup here, like with the Wonder Waff and with the FR. The FR did really good at taking out like the bosses and stuff like that, and then with the Wonder Waff, it's really good for crowd control, so just taking out big hordes all at once. Look at this, guys. We just absolutely shredded that mangler. Absolutely none of these HVTs in the red tier zone stand a chance with this thing. It actually kind of blows my mind how fast this thing is still killing those mega abominations. I do believe that the incendiary ammo is still putting in some damage on these things, but most of the power is just coming from this AR. I mean, you guys have to remember that ammo caught a huge nerf with this season. But I gotta say, even after the nerf, this AR is still kind of feeling the same. It does feel ever so slightly bit weaker, but overall, it's still really OP. Definitely one of the best I think I've tried out this season, and if you guys haven't used this AR in a while, or if you just haven't used it yet in Modern Warfare Zombies, this is definitely one that I think you guys should try out. I end up taking out this one last mega abomination here before heading on into the Dark Aether. I wanted to go inside of the Elder Dark Aether today, now for actually a couple reasons. One, I just wanted to be able to go in there and maybe farm up a couple things. I also think it's just a good way to test these weapons against like a bit stronger zombies, because the Elder Dark Aether zombies are just a little bit stronger than the ones that are in the red tier zone. The same thing goes with the HVT that's going to be spawning in there, like especially that mega abomination. He can be a little bit of a pain sometimes. I also think that's kind of a good way to judge if this thing is it really OP, or is it right there kind of where it should be. I gotta admit, when it came to this mega abomination here, it did take off the first 2 heads pretty easily. I was definitely struggling with a lot of zombies in here and ended up suffering from a down, so you know what, I ended up finishing off the last head with a thermite. I felt pretty badass when I did it too. I like jumped off the thing and like threw it right at the head at the same time. Overall, not too terrible. I've definitely had weapons handle this HVT way worse. Matter of fact, I kind of feel like over half the guns in this game just would kind of tickle this guy in here. Just shooting him for a few minutes, I either just resort to thermites or the Juggernaut or the VR11, whatever I have on me that's just going to get rid of him easily. That does bring me to my next point of why I wanted to come inside of one of the Dark Aethers, and that is just simply because I feel like the Unstable Rift is, how do I say this without putting it down? I feel like they throw so much at you that it's just impossible to do without doing it a few certain ways. There's just way too many sprinters and manglers and mimics and everything that they throw at you that it is just absolutely impossible to train the zombies. If you can't train them and if you can barely outrun them, what else do you have to do? Well, you have to shoot them. You have to get rid of them somehow. There is really only a couple of guns in the game, or weapons should I say, that are actually capable of doing what you need them to do, and that's going to be the Scorcher and the crossbow with the explosive bolts with the dead wire detonators. If you plan on staying on the ground, those are going to be about your only options. Now you can run other stuff with them. Honestly, you could run any SMG, any pistol, any shotgun, and stay just running around on the ground, and you will be safe as long as you keep that RGL with the dead wire detonators on you to get yourself out of those sticky situations. Now, I'm not saying that it is completely impossible without these things, because like even I've gotten very close with just the Wonder Waff. That was actually how I was attempting to do it first. I ended up getting to the boss twice and ended up dying, so I'm sure somebody out there has probably finished it this way as well. My point is that if you want to stay on the ground and just kill zombies and survive in here, I mean especially for a solo player, you have to rock the RGL. Now of course we got the other way to complete the Unstable Rifts, and that is with the Scorcher. I showed you guys in one of my previous videos, and I'm sure you've seen from like all these other zombies creators out there. I've seen all of their other videos too that have talked about this. Basically anybody can really cheese the Unstable Rift. If you have the Scorcher, you can just fly up in the sky and wait out the rounds until the bosses come in, drop down, kill the boss. Honestly, really simple stuff. Now the same thing goes with like the Scorcher as with the RGL. You can really pair up any weapon with the Scorcher that you please. And while with the RGL or with the Scorcher, like I said, you can pair up any weapon with both of these. At the end of the day, both of these weapons are needed and are probably going to be doing the majority of the work with no matter which strat that you pick. No, that's just my thing. I do wish we were able to complete the Unstable Rifts using some different strategies without having to lean on those two weapons so much. Don't worry, I will be taking a trip back in there in one of our next videos to try out something a little bit new. We are coming to the end of our run here, and what do I gotta say about this FR? Man, I am really glad that I tried out this gun. Still definitely one of the top best ARs to use in this game, hands down. Throw up that loadout up on the screen right here for anybody that wants to check it out. Always, I greatly do appreciate everybody that took the time out to check out the video. Thank you very much. It does mean the world to me. Be sure to drop a like on it if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if anybody is new. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next one.